And here's one of the hot topics of the week. You know, airports nationwide could soon give new meaning to the phrase the Mile High Club. A group of activists called SAFER, which stands for Safer Alternative for Enjoyable Recreation, are asking why people are not allowed to smoke marijuana in airport lounges. The group claims that many people who have anxiety about flying are stuck with the options of alcohol and then over-the-counter medications to calm their jitters. But if passengers could smoke marijuana before the flight, then everyone on the plane would be more chilled out, right? Mason Tavert is the executive director for SAFER, and John Richardson is a criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. They join me now. And Mason, where do you get the whole SAFER acronym? What makes you safer? You smoke dope and all of a sudden you're safe to get on a plane? Where do you get that?
Well, every objective study on marijuana has concluded that it's far less harmful than alcohol, not only to the people who use it, but to those around them.
Well,
it doesn't
far less
contribute
harmful
to
doesn't
aggression,
exactly equate
violence.
to safer, though, right? Why don't we call it the far less harmful alternative to getting on a plane?
Well, yeah, it is far less harmful. Alcohol has been found to contribute to violent and aggressive behavior, and we've seen quite a bit of that here on flights, in which passengers have gotten drunk and assaulted other passengers, flight attendants, and even their children. So we're simply saying that if we can allow adults to get drunk before getting on a flight, maybe we'd be better off if we let some of those adults make the safer, rational choice to use marijuana instead when they fly.
John Richardson, can you imagine going to an airport and seeing the smoking lounge and then a separate smoking lounge where everybody in there is just kind of sitting back getting high? I mean, what do you tell your kids? Oh, they're just in there kind of getting high.
Well, look, no, I can't imagine, because, it's never going to happen. If you think the federal government is going to allow the Denver airport to turn their Starbucks or something like it into basically drug traffickers, allow them to sell pot or bring pot into a federally regulated public place, you're nuts. You're basically inviting drug dealers, criminals, into federally regulated places. Federal agents have to profile in order to catch criminals, drug dealers. If everybody's sitting in the same pot, smoke-filled room, how do you tell the difference between a Jerry Garcia fan and a drug dealer? Here's something different.
Mason, here's what the emailers are saying right now. They're saying, you can go into a lounge in a bar and you can sip a glass of wine and it does not make you drunk. You go into a smoking lounge and you smoke a joint, you're high. No matter how you shake it, you're high. So how do you equate that? I mean, there's a big difference between having a beer in a bar and having a glass of wine and then going in and smoking a joint. You're not drunk when you come out of the bar, but you would be high when you came out of the smoking lounge.
Well, you could be as high as possible and you still pose less harm to yourself and those around you than having that one martini. It's simply a fact that when we let adults use alcohol, inevitably some of them are going to be irresponsible and they're going to lend to these serious problems. And I think it's upsetting that this attorney is kind of making a joke out of this. It's not going to be funny when a drunk person causes a serious problem on an airline that puts all the other passengers' safety in jeepardy. So we need to really think about this seriously. And
go ahead, John. You got 15 seconds.
Absolutely, I do think about it seriously. I don't see how that allowing people to smoke pot while other people are drinking makes things safer. Look, in respect to this gentleman, actually, I agree with you. I think they should legalize marijuana. Then you take the criminals and the drug traffickers out of it. Starbucks does not have to rely on criminals to import their coffee beans so we can get our caffeine fix. However, until the federal government legalizes marijuana, this is nothing more, in my opinion, than a publicity stunt, because it's just not going to happen.
John, we got to go. John Richardson, Mason Tavert. Gentlemen, thank you.